Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new series on Kingdoms Reborn. This game is very new at the moment, it's very much in an early access state. It is often compared to a cross between Banished and Civilization games. I also like to say like maybe something like Theater the Gathering or something like that, because there is a bunch of card-based elements, but I guess Theater is probably not the best comparison, but something along those lines. You'll see very momentarily, but I do want to reiterate, this is a very early access game at the moment. There are a bunch of like tweaks that need to happen, and there are the warnings over here that large maps could be unstable, especially for multiplayer or slow CPU, and the AI needs work. Please ignore them for now. And yeah, that is definitely true. The AI does need work. Sometimes they actually function, sometimes they just like don't really do anything, but you don't really need them, at least not at the moment. It's quite fun just playing by yourself or with friends, because as it says, it is in fact multiplayer, and it is multiplayer right now, and there are actually other games up at this moment that you can join. There's normally not many, but if you got some friends you can join them, and basically now you can play Banished with your friends. So we are going to be starting a new game. Let's just get a random seed. I is above toilet. Okay, yeah, sometimes they have little phrases in there. I actually quite like that, instead of just the flat out numbers. Let's play it up onto hard difficulty. Actually, no, let's do hard. I'm going to drop it down to 2 AIs because they don't really make much difference. Low mountains, and then let's leave everything else the same. So we click generate the world. This generates, and now we can start the game. So we are going to be doing a series on this. It's going to be uploaded twice every week on, well, today and Fridays. The Great Freeze left civilization in ruins. Very few were strong enough to withstand the cold and plague that claimed the earth. Decades have passed since the frost took our lands, and our courage and hope have returned with the melting of the ice. It falls to us, we surviving few, to rebuild a flourishing civilization. Cheers to a new beginning! And it gives you the controls. Alright, so let's take a little bit of a look at the map. Actually, this looks kind of like an animal. Like, you got the leg, kind of the back end, a little bit of tail there, then the main body, the head, like an arm type thing, and then maybe like some food, some little food that it's eating. So the AI settled over there, and the other one settled over there. Where do we want to settle? A good thing always to have is iron and coal. Like there is some over here that's going to really help you later on in the game. Or down here could be good because there's iron there, coal there, some cannabis. Cannabis is actually surprisingly important. I might go down there. Let's see what else is around. So all these little like circles of symbols, pictures I guess, they're not really symbols, are different resources. So we got grapes here, cannabis. This is dye, got cotton, coal, and iron, more cotton. This is cocoa. You can occasionally find gemstones, but I don't see any on this map. They normally tend to be kind of in the middle of the desert. Oh, this is actually a savanna. I don't think I've seen a savanna before. Yeah, there's no gemstones, and it does not look like there is any... Oh, nope. There we go. There's gold right there as well. But iron and coal are probably the most useful because you really need that stuff. So we are going to actually settle right here on this tile. As you can see, there's a bunch of different tiles. You click on them, gives you a little bit of information on them, as well as the price for it. So we're going to select this one as the first one, and then you get your initial resources. Tells you how much storage space you have, the amount you have, the cost of them, so we can increase it and we spend some of our money, or we can actually decrease it and not spend as much money. We did start with a pretty small tile, so we start with a bit more money. I don't know what the exact amount is. I mean, I guess anyone could do the math on what I just spent and what I have left. I'm guessing it's about 2,000, because that looks about right. I remember spending about 500 or so, so I'm thinking it's about around 2,000 that you get to start with. I am going to start with a little bit more tools and a little bit more medicine. Confirm. We unlock the bridge and we get to place down our town hall card. So I'm going to try to get it a little bit up here. So let's put it right there. Alright. We get to choose our starting card. I like this one. I like investment. Oop, and then we get to choose a second starting card. Productivity books are really good. And I know to play the game, so click that. Let's slow down the game for the moment. We want to put this one in here. These are global effect cards. They go into your town hall and they affect something globally. These ones affect specific buildings themselves. That's from the bluish color. These are the green ones. And then every 130 seconds, you get to draw a hand of cards and purchase them with your gold. So the first one, good ones to get, fishing lodge and a fruit gatherer would be good, as well as a hunting lodge to get a load of food. So most of the buildings you can only build if you have the cards for them. The exception are dirt roads, houses, storage yards, and bridges. Eventually, you can also get farms into that mix. So click here, I can gather. So let's select pretty much everything here to gather. So we have laborers and builders. Right now, we only have laborers because we have nothing selected to be built. I'm going to change that by adding a little fishing dock. You can see the efficiency percentage of it. We need to find a way for it to fit. It gets us 116. If we put it over here, can we get higher? Ooh, 126. I wish I could place it there, but those are red, so I can't place it there. 126 it is. It's saying that the houses aren't too far, and that's because there are, in fact, no houses here at all. Let's just place that down, and let's queue up a house to be built. If you can hold control and then click T, you get to knock down all the trees like this, see a little bit better. Let's get a house built over there, and then let's get a hunting lodge built up here. We can hunt all of these lovely animals. So they're going to start building those houses. See, we now have 4 builders, because each of these can be built by 2 people. The timer for that is going along. And we also have a leader skill, which is a speed buff. At the moment, there's only this leader skill. I'm assuming because it's in fact called a leader skill, there are going to be different leaders in the game that you eventually get. Like, kind of like you have different civs in Civilization that have different bonuses, and maybe there's going to be more to what they start with or anything like that. But right now, there's just the one leader, I guess, with just the one leader skill of speed buff. You click it, and then it uses 60 skill points. You can see them charging up here. They will stack up to 4 of them, at least with this one. Boost target's building work speed by 50% for 50 seconds. That does, in fact, include the builders. So we need all these little symbols, all these little people. They all need houses. That's what that means. So we are going to need to get some houses built. Right now, everything has been delivered, but we need to actually get it built. So I'm going to speed up the building process. You can see over here we have 21 people. Our food, stone, wood, medicine, and tools. Our happiness, our gold, as well as the income of gold. Alright, so let's get some more houses built. We are going to need lots of houses, as well as we are now, in fact, out of storage space. Well, I have very little amount of room here, so let's, in fact, go up here and buy this province. As well as we can now draw more cards. I'm going to grab the immigration office, as well as the fishing lodge and charcoal burner. That's going to be most of our money right now, but I believe it is going to be worth it. Let's see about getting another fishing lodge placed down. There's no shame in getting loads of fishing lodges, because food is always a necessity for survival. Let's see, if we place it here, we get 112%. And we now have unlocked to research. Our storage is in fact full, but we are going to be spending a bunch of it on buildings, so that should be fine for the moment. For research wise, I always like going to get improved wood cutting plus 20% wood harvesting yield, because you will always in this game run out of wood for a very long time. Right, the fishing lodge is in fact built. You can upgrade the fishing lodge as well as almost any building you build with different upgrades. So I can get bonus to the productivity, which increases the efficiency of it, more productivity and work. Wow, I cannot say that word. But we are just going to give it that book to get another 20% efficiency in there. There we go, we have 3 houses, so we have housing for 12, but we do have 22 people, so we are going to need to build some more houses. So let's get one placed down here. And let's get a little bit of storage yard placed down over here, shall we? Storage yards do cost wood to make, so keep that in mind. You don't want to just place them everywhere constantly, because you will run out of wood if you're not careful. Alright, so let's queue them to... Yeah, we can cut these trees here. And we're going to build a fruit gatherer over here. So they have access to 106 or was 104 fruit trees. Let's connect these roads up. They move fast on the roads. The roads actually don't cost anything, which is really nice. And we can upgrade this to increase efficiency, though I am planning on moving it over here in probably pretty soon for this upgrade here. Oh, I have unlocked the Statistics Bureau, which we won't place that down quite yet. So the Immigration Office. This one does basically what the name is. It gets you immigrants. So you place it down, and there's a little timer over it. It takes quite a while, but each time it ticks through, you'll get another person. Alright, and if there's nothing you particularly want, which is not right now, I can click that button, and it will recycle it. Every single time you draw, you get a free one, and then after that, you have to pay for it. There's nothing particularly I want. I'm not really near a mountain. Oh, I guess there's that mountain there. But I don't think I need stone at the moment. What I do need is I need more houses. So I'm going to queue up the road here, even though they probably won't build it for a little bit of time. And let's get a couple more houses built, shall we? As for down here, we want to get the road probably along the beach and do that. There we go. So let's see, we are at 22 out of 16. That's on 3 houses. Each house contains 4 people. I guess there's 16, so this will get us 20, that'll get us to 24. So that will actually be everyone we need. If you click on a building, you can also change the amount of workers allowed. So I could say no one's allowed to work here, but we need food. So let's keep everyone working there. Up here you can see what season we're in. So we're currently in the early beginning of summer. And it is year 0, 26 degrees Celsius, which is a nice 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Our storage is still staying massively full. I don't really know what this storage is being held for. That one seems to be empty. Oh, okay, it's still held for meat. Very well. Alright, once this building is done, we will actually be housed everyone. And we are going to want a charcoal burner probably pretty soon. The issue with it is if it's close to houses, they get unhappy. So I want a housing district as well as kind of a industrial district, which we'll put over here for the moment. Let's just place the road straight out like this, and we can get the charcoal burner placed on the edge of that road like so. The fruit gatherer is done, so let's increase his productivity a little bit, as well as we are going to spend that at the moment to get him all prepared. They both have the upgrade fruit bait and then pest traps, so they increase productivity for each other if they next to each other by 30%, which is very nice. So we need to bring him over there, which we can do by demolishing the building, and we'll get the card back. Though we will have to build it from scratch and we get none of the resources back. So that is something to keep in mind. A forcer would be good, but I'm not so great on money for the moment. So let's just cycle through. I mean, I'm probably fine. Let's actually grab another immigration office. You have a limited amount of cards. I don't know. I think it's 6 or 7 you're allowed to hold, but they do stack if they are the same type. So we want to get this upgrade here for 40 gold. Use 30% less wood for the input. So we're now turning 7 wood into 10 coal. And I'm also going to increase the productivity because that will change it from 7 wood to 15 coal, which is very nice. This one is a guild upgrade, so it means the more than we have, the better they will perform. Now we are in need of more storage space, so let's get a nice big storage yard set up over here. There we go. And we do want some more housing. You always need more housing in this game. If you think you have enough housing, you're probably wrong. So right now we have a spare room for 2 people, which is not many. They do reproduce themselves. It is relatively slow. The fastest way probably is through the immigration office, as well as some cards later on that help you get more people. But we'll see them quite later on. You do get little quests along. If you complete them, you do in fact get bonuses. Normally either an option of cards for this one, or we'll get a certain card for this one. So over here you can see the output inventory is in fact full for our fruit gatherer. We can close that. I will explain that when the time comes, but that is not yet. So the fruit gatherer's output inventory is in fact full. That means no one is dragging the food down from him to the storage yards. Mainly because 1, the storage yards are pretty much full, and 2, we are very low on laborers. We are only at 3. Okay, we do have unlock of the furniture workshop. I'm going to refuse to buy it for the moment. It will show up through this, and I don't particularly want it because it turns wood into furniture. Furniture is really good, but I don't have the wood to be spending on it, especially since I went straight into the charcoal burner. I definitely think this one is very much a necessity quite early on, as I'm now turning wood into coal, and the coal is going to be used for the fuel of the houses instead of the wood come winter. Right, looky here, see, we already have a furniture workshop available. I am going to grab a... No, I have barely any money. Anything super useful? No, not really. We are pretty good on food, which is actually quite nice to see. Money, on the other hand, is quite low. I believe we could actually get ourselves an immigration office built now, as we are now at 23 out of 32 people, and we have enough food to feed them. Fuel-wise, we're not doing too great, so let's in fact chop some trees, but we don't want to chop any of the fruit trees that he's going to be using. So we can select non-fruit trees, and let's select the area. You can only designate things to be cut down or mined in your own province. So even though the square went over this area, my people are not allowed in there until I purchase it. For the moment, I can purchase it either through gold or through food. But I don't really need to expand yet, so we are going to hold off on that. Let's speed buff this up so it gets built a little bit quicker. And in fact, let's actually take this opportunity now, since we have a good stockpile of food, delete the hunting lodge, come up here and build hunting lodge across the road from them. Let's also speed buff the immigration office. The more people we have, the more laborers and builders we'll have available, and those are always needed. There we go. We have a great big storage pile here, so laborers should start pulling the fruit down from here, which they have actually started doing instantly, and placing it into the storage. There's also just meat all over the floor as well as wood. That is one issue I have slightly with this game for the moment, is that items get left on the ground for a very long time, and laborers don't always seem to decide to actually grab it, especially when it's something you really need. So like, say you don't have enough houses for people, winter comes, and they're starting to freeze to death because they are all stuck outside, but no one builds it because you don't have any wood, but there's wood everywhere on the ground, just no one wants to pick it up. Same thing with food. Your people can start starving, and there's food on the ground, but they won't eat it because it's not in a stockpile, and no one grabs it because they're all starving. So it's little AI tweaks with the laborers like that that I believe need to get adjusted and fixed and worked on upon. But this is, again, like I said, a very early access game, so that is going to be an issue right now and not an issue later. And for the most part, if you have good planning and you plan ahead, you'll be perfectly fine. I've gone years into this game and have almost 200 people in my games, so you can definitely manage it. A caravan has arrived and they wish to buy goods you might have. Let's trade. So trading with him, he has a 25% fee on what we sell him. We are going to sell him some of our food because we have a lot of food and we can only sell 80 to him. So we are being cost 78 from him, but we are still making a good deal of money. So this was the card I was talking about from completing a quest. So we completed the quest to harvest 300 fish. So we got the cooperative fishing card, which means plus 10% fish production when there are 2 or more fishing lodges, which is really nice. And we need to be able to put it into the global slot for cards. And currently we have investment, which gives us plus 30 income. Now I want to keep this card and I have no more slots. But if you are thinking ahead, and I think you probably were, you can see this upgrade Town Hall to level 2 for 200. If I do that, we get another slot, as well as the income from our Town Hall increases a little bit, and we unlock a bunch of new cards, a bunch of really useful ones. As well as the priority button, which is definitely very nice. So let's place that card in. Let's check to see if there's any cards we particularly want to buy. Excuse me. I don't really need another hunting lodge. Don't really need any of these. Mushroom farm is quite nice because you get more food, but you do run out of wood faster. And I normally feel fine getting food, but struggle with wood. So here is where the new cards we got came in. There's wheat seeds, which allow you to get a farm and plant wheat, which is always really nice. As well as these other cards. Stats is quite nice. Seal gold equal to the target player's population used on Town Hall. So that you can use on the ally or your friends/enemies. This is actually more of a competitive game than an ally game, but you can definitely help each other and become friends as well. Kind of like in Civilization. Of course, it costs 50, and so my understanding is you'll need at least 50 population, which no one's going to have in this game. So this one, for me, is useless. These two are quite nice. I'm in fact going to buy both of those cards. And since we now hit a small town, getting the 25 population, completing the first quest of those, we get to choose another card. Decrease the upkeep by 50, that's to do with the money. Mining equipment, we don't have a blacksmith and won't have for a little while. And plus 50 if there are 2 trading companies. Trading companies come quite a while from now, so let's grab this book. As well as let's see what other cards are. Anything we want? Ooh, these are both quite nice, but we're going to leave it for the moment. I don't think we need anything like that. Winter is starting to arrive, so they're going to start burning through the coal. That should be quite alright. We can now upgrade both of these. There we go. The efficiency of both of these buildings is very nice. Oops, hello, I did not mean to star that. So that is the priority building button. So we can select a job priority. This is on normal, this is high priority, this is they won't work there, which I accidentally left on too long, but now we have 2 more workers, so we're fine. That does in fact also work for buildings being built, so you can allow them to go, hey, this one we really want to get built fast. So I normally will do that on houses and stuff if they're not getting to it. So if I use this card, I sell half of my food that we have for 3 gold apiece, which is pretty good. It's a little bit lower than you would from a trading port, but only by about 0.14 gold of food. Which does add up when you're selling about 500 food if I did it right now. This one spends half your gold to buy as much wood as you can with that half of your gold that you currently have. Each wood does cost 5 gold, which is again a decent price, but right now we are good on wood as we're not going to be burning wood because we got a good stockpile of coal. So we got the coal from here, which means we are no longer going to have to worry about burning through all our wood because we burn through coal way slower than we would burn through the wood. Now there is an upgrade for the immigration office, which increases it by 30% efficiency, which is very nice. And this is the little ring, so once this fills up fully, then we will get another person, and we just need to make sure we have rooms for them. But of course, leader skill, that does include this building, so I can speed it up. Of course, it is still very slow, and 1% goes up. At this point, about, I would say that looks like about, maybe every second. Yeah, it looks about every second right now. Of course, even on default speed, the seconds are a little bit faster. So like if you see the seconds down here, that's not an actual second really, is it? That's a little bit faster. But there you go. And that is a first look. Actually, what's costing us a lot of money? So upkeep of 6, upkeep of 4, 6, 4, and probably 4, nope, there we go, 2 in fact. That was really cheap. So let's put this frugality book in here, and that drops the upkeep down to 3. So we're now making another 3 gold for every amount of time that comes in. I don't actually know how often that comes in. Let's do one last check of our cards. Let's grab another immigration office as well as another fruit gatherer. Let's come up here, let's place down our fruit gatherer. And let's get another immigration building placed up here. And with that, we are probably going to want another house. So actually, let's rotate around. Let's have it facing this way. That is very nice like that. Let's have the road come down like this, around, and then let's connect it up here. This is all neatly attached. And because our stockpile is getting a little bit full, let's get a little bit bigger of a stockpile down here. Well, it's a small stockpile, but another one down there. You understand what I mean. And that is our little town for the moment. And that is where we're going to leave this episode. I hope you have enjoyed. We are going to be coming back to this game. I really love this game. I recommend checking it out, watching more videos on it, either from me or other content creators, or checking it out on the Steam page yourself and buying it. I just really love this game. But until next time, if you have enjoyed, like and comment down below. If you're new to the channel and like to see more, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, stay icy. Bye.